Hello there, and welcome to is it semis or quarterfinals? It's semifinals, right?
Semifinals,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Quarterfinals went by quick, man.
Yeah, I just played my quarterfinals game like 24 minutes ago. I lost.
Nah, man. I'm sorry to hear it, Pally.
Anyways, let's focus on what's actually happening here.
Well, real quick, we should introduce ourselves.
No, they know who we
Unless
are.
that's something. Well, it's not my channel, so who knows? They might not know who I am.
You're just a
Is Asti.
disembodied voice. We're all disembodied voices here.
Well, I'm a disembodied voice with the name of Asti.
Holy crap! Look at Epid's hand.
Yeah, that's gross. That's not okay. Second pay up, second Valdez, turn 3 ego.
Well,
No.
anyways, let's actually get the listeners caught up with what's actually going on here.
So this matchup here, semifinals, like I said, HerziQuerzi's on Mardu control, and Epid is on Mono Black Midrange, a deck that's been positively sweeping the GP. I know at least two of them made it into the top quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one of them got knocked out, right? So Epid's the last hope for Mono Black
Epid is
Midrange.
the last hope, but I mean, with this hand, you're starting off strong.
Yeah, and here's the answer: an infectious ego easily.
Not really. I mean, you have a face the dawn, so you're not doomed. But yeah.
Well, you have to get whacked by ego a few times before you can start facing the dawn.
Prove worthy is a weird choice there. I would personally say face because you have two threats at 4 toughness. So prove worthy is not.
So let's look at HerziQuerzi's hand right now. And let's look at Epid's hand right now.
Why? I don't understand letting HerziQuerzi just hang on to face the dawn here.
Well, if you take their villainy, they don't have any proactive threats now.
That's
Epid
true.
can just take all the time they want to play out their infectious egos, and HerziQuerzi doesn't even have removal. Face the Dawn costs 5, and infectious ego is going to keep HerziQuerzi on 3 lands.
It's true, yeah. I guess you might as well blood J Prophet, yeah. Like you said, you have time. And also,
right, because,
I mean, you're probably
ego coming down doesn't actually do anything.
Oh god! You just take
him out.
I feel like you take.
Yeah, this isn't a matchup where life matters. You're 20. You have egos that gain you life when they attack.
You at least take the third ego and a pay up. I think here. I don't know about second pay up, but it's justifiable. Absolutely.
Just take it all. Like, why not?
Take it all. Yep. Oh man. What a hand that Epid has here. 2 pay up, 3 infectious ego, 1 land. Perfect.
Does HerziQuerzi even get to do anything this game?
Well, your name face the dawn. Oh yeah, discards it. Huh.
I mean, at this point, HerziQuerzi just relying on top decking. They don't want to.
That's true. You're pretty much top deck mode anyways. Face the dawn is not really the card you need right now. Off the top.
No red. Wait, this is actually good. It brings.
That's really good. Gets back villainy. Oh man, that's really good. That's exactly what you need right now. So I mean, yeah, you get that.
We might actually get a game here.
We have a game here. I mean, it's hard to have a game with 3 egos in Epid's hand, but it is exciting. It is interesting here.
What in HerziQuerzi's deck removes the ego?
Face the Dawn, I think, is the only one.
Let
me check again here. There is I mean, if it's the only card on board, you have reduced to not.
Yeah, and I guess.
But that's it.
Can you pith bolt for 4 in this deck?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess
yes, you can because you're on Mardu and pith bolt's green.
That's true, yeah. But you have to cast another spell and then cast Pithwill.
I mean, it's not too hard at 6 mana. You just provoke the gods for it. Get Pithwill, play Pithwill for 4.
And you've dealt with one of them.
Oh yeah,
not Warwick Soul Weaver, just to really rub it in, I suppose.
Don't forget that these guys are also whacking for 4 each turn.
Yeah.
Does HerziQuerzi know about Epid's egos right now? Like, HerziQuerzi did not play any discard spells, right?
HerziQuerzi did not play any discard spells, as far as I'm aware.
HerziQuerzi's in for a big surprise in the following turns.
Yeah. 1 ego, 2 ego, 3 ego. Excellent. Yeah, I think HerziQuerzi just loses.
No, don't count HerziQuerzi out just yet. HerziQuerzi just gives Epid the planes. Like, they're not even trying at this point. They've already given up.
Take the poison counter.
Or let's turn off. Wait, is there anything that taking the poison enables?
It turns on Mistress. It turns on Soulbreaker.
I guess it's
but you don't really care. it's pretty much just Mistress, but if you look at the deck right now, like you're relying on top decks. Your opponent has 4 cards in hand still. I feel like taking the poison is a small thing. Besides, this does actually lets Epid do something, which is pay up into Ego to clear the way. Of course, it doesn't really matter because it's 2 lands in hand, but you know.
Well, at least Epid get to know that Herzi has 2 lands in hand.
It's true. Yeah.
Still, I'm surprised that Herzi decided to discard Face Dawn to not give Epid a treasure, but still decided to give Epid a land off the Ego.
Yeah.
And now they're taking the poison.
I think Herzi's just decided that like either I draw the card I need or I don't. And I still don't understand not taking the poison off of just sacrificing the land. But I'm not Herzi, I suppose. Yeah, so if I'm Epid here, I'm gonna pay up and I'm gonna cast another Ego.
If I'm Epid here, I just do whatever because I don't think the opponent can win at this point.
I don't think you can do anything really wrong here at this point.
I think you do want to play around a Face Dawn, so you don't want to drop your entire hand.
That's true. Like I said, just pay up, play another Ego.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work out, you have Soul Weaver and Ego still, and if you're really lucky, you get them out on the same turn.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work out still, then you still have Valdez on the venture.
Yeah. Also, Evan can just like sit here. You have lethal, like
just slow play. You have the clock so that so that game 2 is a draw, so that Epid wins with 1 game.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's how MSEM works. Not gonna pay up here. Gonna Soul Weaver and the pay up, which I suppose makes sense because it means even if Herzi gets a blocker, you have lethal because you're playing that another creature.
You know what'd be funny? If Herzi kills Bloodjade Prophet and uses no rest to bring it back so that Herzi can like suicide themselves by using Bloodjade Prophet.
That's true.
I mean, if they top deck a black spell, I think they can do that. This villainy shoot the Bloodjade Prophet and then no rest it back. Wait, you don't kill yourself that way. Never mind. Well, actually, no, you do if you top deck Find Happiness and Misery because that causes you to lose 1 life.
But no, then you're at 7, and then you Bloodjade Prophet and you go down to 1.
Well, no, Villainy gets you up to 8. Find Happiness, and then since Bloodjade died,
a land, so
okay. But yeah, since a creature died, Villainy draws you a card and makes you lose 1 life, so you get exactly that yourself. Unfortunately, Herzi does not go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah. Looking at the boards here, I mean...
So, who are we looking at first? Herzi?
Yeah, let's look at Herzi first. This is interesting. I don't really know how this deck sideboards here. I feel like you've been probably... I know, I think last time I saw Herzi play, they sided in Rift Splicing, so that's probably going to come in. Just because there is a good chunk of things you can kill with it.
Yeah, especially there's some really good targets like Bloodjade Prophet, which will let you also get Bloodjade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And end of days,
you probably run. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want Wrath in range.
I feel like you do, yeah. And then I mean, I could see a justification for siding in Key Block.
I guess. Well, we spent too much time on Herzi, so let's move on to Epid, who's probably bringing it. Yeah. He's probably cutting all the removal for 1.
Yeah, no more strike.
Is that their only removal spell?
Yeah, 1 strike main.
Well, no, they also bring out the Soul Breakers because they have no targets. Or
that's true.
Do you? Because Heraldry exists.
Yeah, the downside is going to sort of back out if that's getting targeted. Yeah, I don't really know what Epid brings in here other than maybe I mean, Pneumo Wong is a way to deal with enchantments. I would definitely bring in Pneumo Wong because it's one of the very rare ways that Black will have to blow up the enchantments.
So Epid gets a 1-lander, and they're actually thinking about it. I would just snap mold this thing.
I mean, yeah, well, you got pay up.
But this is an insane curve if you ever draw another land, so I guess, yeah.
Because you get PM, get Polyp Pools, get Soul Weaver, and then get Ego or
I mean, your opponent has lots of removal. Things can go super wrong if PM gets killed.
PM's getting killed. You have to assume it's getting murdered. You have to assume every card's getting murdered more or less, and especially PM. You have to draw a land for 1, and pay up's not guaranteed to get you what you want. So I would mull.
Herzi, meanwhile, keeps a hand full of removal spells and no rest with no targets.
Well, full of removal spells. There's 2. That's not even particularly full of for Herzi's deck. You can get like 4 removal spell hands or something crazy like that.
I guess Herzi just assumes that it's going to be good enough, but like against this card, This hand feels a bit too slim.
Epid keeps it.
Wow, no balls.
Barren Desolation untapped for no reason.
Well, Epid
And
did not get punished for keeping that hand.
Remains unpunished, remains unpunished.
I guess they took the risk and got the reward.
I mean, I guess you target... Do you target no rest?
No, you take the Pith Welt so that they have no early removal against your Profane Emissary.
Try and take Pithwelt, because if they do lose Pithwelt, then you get out PM, and then you can get the pilot pools and start doing things. Well, no, Epid decided to keep Soul Breakers in, which I'm not too sure about.
Against Heraldry. Like, Heraldry is a problem.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Poison gets around the Heraldry problem.
No, not that. I mean, it's so that you can kill the Heraldry, because Heraldry is the only creature in Herzi's deck.
Epid names Pithwelt. Herzi discards it. So yeah, now, I mean, Herzi has to use Prove Worthy on the PM, which isn't great for Epid.
Well, never mind.
It's reduced to not.
Yeah, that's going to kill the Profane Emissary.
Sure will, yeah.
Unless Epid decides to lead on something else, so to bait removal. I mean, that is a valid play, right?
You know what? Leading on Mistress is an awful here.
Oh, they did board more.
Yeah, like I said, it's a way to blow up enchantments, which is like crucial in this matchup. Yeah.
Epid's thinking about which 2-drop to lead with.
Yeah, I think Profane Emissary is too risky, and I'll try and bait out at least one removal spell before playing it. I would go Mistress.
Oh, nope Epid's going for a straightforward play.
For PM.
PM comes and PM's coming out.
I'm assuming it's not going to stick around for too long. Reduce or Not is just been absolute kind of a horse in Herzi's deck.
I mean, at least Epid's not an aggro deck. That would hurt way more.
Yeah. There's Rift Splicing to get side in. So Herzi's in a good spot. Several removal spells.
Idravir, which does not let them play Auric Soulweaver.
I never liked Idravir in the deck. Like, I understand the value of the man land, but having a black source has got to be better.
I cannot comment on that statement, because I'm not familiar enough with deck building or with the deck in order to judge that statement.
When you're running, like, count 1, 2, 3, you're running 8 copies of black cards, and then 4 of Profane Emissaries. So you have 12 cards that are exclusively black pips. A colorless land causes problems very often.
Passes.
At least from what I've seen in gameplay. Yeah, you have things. You can wait.
I mean, right now, you definitely feel the pain of drawing Idravir here, because it threw you off the Auric Soulweaver curve.
I mean,
okay, so swing. Herzi lets himself get poisoned. That's huge, because now Mistress is enabled.
You're not even going to Rift Splicing that.
They're going to end up turning No Rest, I guess. No, wait. No Rest is sorcery. Wait, what's Herzi even holding up? No. I guess they're holding up Prove Worthy plus Rift Splicing for Ego, which is actually really good, because if you kill Ego with Rift Splicing, you get an Ego trigger yourself.
That's true. So, that's fun.
But now Herzi has to decide whether they want to use their small removal spells to deal with the Mistresses.
I mean, I think you have to. It's just, even one draw is a lot of value off it.
Yeah, but then, like, which spell do you use to kill the Mistress?
Probably Rift Splicing.
You're not going to get value off that?
I feel like it feels like it makes sense to just be using the smallest number to kill the smallest things.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's like you don't use your Scorch on this. You don't want to use a Scorch on this mode. If
almost. Wait, Herzi's going out here.
Fatigue here? I mean, I guess you have Rift Splicing still, so yeah.
Oh, no, you get to Renewal Grove and shuffle away your Fatigue.
That's true, yeah.
So that's what Herzi was keeping up.
Good, that was a good turn, yeah. And then I guess, are you going to Rift Splicing the Soul Breaker now? See, what's interesting here is that even with that, Herzi's not in a great spot, because you have Renewal Grove, a No Rest, and a Rift Splicing, and there's not that much to get back off No Rest.
What can you get back from No Rest with off your opponent's stuff?
I mean, I guess Mistress isn't a terrible get, because if your opponent has Mistress and they get poisoned, then you're getting the triggers off that. You're getting the triggers from the Mistress as well, so you get to keep up with their draw.
I feel like if you wanted to do that, you should have let Mistress live instead of killing it right away.
Yeah. Herzi not in an amazing spot here, especially because if they do get drawn to Villainy here, it's going to get Numa Long. I guess if Epid finds a way to do that. at the moment. They're not in a great spot to utilize it.
I mean, they're kind of forced to no rest here, or else they just do nothing. So what do they bring back from their opponent's yard?
I mean, you get back something.
You have your choice of 2 drops that don't synergize with your deck at all.
I mean, do you want to go? They're in no rest.
Do you want the 2-mana 2/1?
Yeah.
The 2-mana 2/2, or the 2-mana 3/1?
If they go with Mistress here, which, like I said, I agree with, because it's just a card draw engine.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, if your opponent plays Ego while they have a bunch of poison out, then you can give your Mistress to the opponent.
Oh God, no! Epid gets to be on the receiving side of that play.
I mean, like, it's not insane for that to happen if this game goes long.
Yeah, it could happen. Although Epid still being poison counterless does do that a little bit. They brought in Long Forgotten. I guess that makes sense.
Except it's not actually that good against no rest, because no rest is stealing from your yard, not your opponent's yard.
I mean, it gets back like heraldries and villainy sometimes if they get discarded.
Yeah.
I think it's in the deck with that possibility in mind.
Mistress comes down.
Primary thinks it does.
We have 2 mistresses staring at each other.
Oh man.
I mean, Epid's still going to get the first draw because Herzi can miss out on this mistress draw.
Let's see the draw here for Herzi. The fatigue, wow.
That's a 1 in 47.
That's rare. That is unlikely.
It's fine. You can cycle it. You have the mana.
You cycle it, you still have mana for a removal spell no matter what.
Find
happiness.
Yeah, see?
It's not bad.
Now you can find happiness in the misery of drawing fatigue, because you actually got something.
Find happiness in the misery of one of your opponent's 2 drops. That's the downside. Do you want to no rest now when you know you could be getting something better later?
What can you get that's better?
I mean, Heraldry of Villainy?
Well, you have to draw them first.
Yeah, you do.
So do you block here as Epid?
No, I don't think so. I think that's actually a really good question. That is a really good question. Do you block here?
I think obviously the answer is obviously no, because you're going to get poisoned anyways from your own mistress. So blocking here doesn't
poison doesn't matter. The 2 life doesn't matter. And like you said, you're getting poisoned anyways on your turn. So
if Herzi drew a black spell from Epid's point of view, then maybe it is worth blocking, because then no rest brings... Because if you don't block... actually, never mind. Okay, if you do block, then no rest will bring back Mistress yet again. So I guess you don't block here.
Yeah.
Epid going through a lines in their head, and they decide to not block. They are now officially poisoned.
Oh man. And then goes Find Happiness here.
Unfortunately, no rest goes on the stack on top, so you can't get what you milled off Find Happiness.
Mills themselves.
Wait! Soulbreaker! Yeah, this is why you block.
Oh no! That's, yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, if you block there, then no rest just gets back Mistress yet again. So, like, no matter what happens, the board's going to be kind of even. No, wait, doing it like this means that Herzi gets an extra Soulbreaker.
Oof. Another ego in that game, that final land.
Yeah, it seems like...
Look at me. I'm the poison deck now. I mean, you just Long Forgotten here? I feel like you might as well, because you can't cast anything else. I mean, you can cast Numo Long, but it doesn't really do anything for you. I guess it does block Mistress, but it doesn't really efficiently block Soulbreaker, and Soulbreaker is what you need to be worried about, because that's more damage.
I mean, you play Non-Forgotten here just so you can hopefully draw into more lands for your egos.
If you draw into land, hit ego, you're happy. You achieve happiness. You find happiness in misery, maybe even.
Actually, I'm just going to be whacking Epid for 4 poison next turn.
Yeah, it is the poison deck now, indeed.
So maybe eventually ego coming down will be a problem because Mistress gets donated.
Nah, because once ego comes down, Soulbreaker is not really a factor unless Herzi has a way to blow it up.
Like ego comes down.
They're playing Numo Long here
and not sacking.
Well, there's nothing to sack.
It can sack itself, right?
Yeah, but that's bad.
Yes. So why would you play Numo Long without sacking it?
You need to be playing Long Forgotten here because you need more lands, because you really want to be casting Soulweaver and Ego, and you have you have 3 dead cards in your hand, and of the 2 non-dead cards, or one of them's a card draw card, you gotta play the card draw card.
Maybe Epid's just hoping to draw into their lands naturally.
Numo Long isn't like... If Numo Long was really good here, and there was a choice between card draw or a really good card, I don't understand, but Numo Long's just not like great.
It trades
It's a-
with Soulbreaker and blocks the Mistress, I guess.
It's true.
If you
but
pay 1 man into it next turn, it now blocks the Soulbreaker.
if it was at least if it was like a 2/4 base, I'd get it maybe. He's just gonna swing in with Soulbreaker here. Don't really want to risk the Mistress. That card draw is too important.
I doubt Epid trades here.
No,
Epid's trading, huh?
it's trading there.
That
As maybe
seems
they are.
desperate.
They might actually be scared of the poison. Herzi's not like doing anything here, but blocking is so bad though.
I mean, it's a
It's
3-mana edict, kind of.
Well, the problem is that's the card that deals with heraldry and villainy and all that. Now it's in your graveyard.
Can't you bring it
There's
back?
a land.
Well, there's Eagle, but a bit
You
too late
just,
because Herzi already has a bunch of lands in play.
Yeah, too many lands. Yeah,
See, Eagle can be bad.
it's still a 4-mana 4/4 lifelinker. And unless Herzi wants to supply Epid with lands, they're gonna get poisoned here.
They're already poisoned to 4. I don't think they care about more poison until it gets up to 8 or something. So here, you can... I mentioned earlier how Pithwold can actually kill Eagle if you have a Provoke the Gods in hand. Well, I think Herzi might go for that play now.
That's gotta be the play you go for.
And then you also grab some other card off to Provoke.
Probably a heraldry.
Villainy is also fine, probably.
You gotta go heraldry here.
Wait, Herzi's not gonna tap the land beforehand?
Well, the mana's just gonna go away.
Couldn't they have, like, at least loaded the mana and then cast Provoke in response? Or use the floating mana to cast Provoke before they pass the phase?
Yeah, probably.
Why would you mill Epid?
Yeah, you should be milling. I mean, you're gonna search, I guess, but
I
milling
guess
yourself.
Herzi is trying to mise milling Polyp Pools or something.
Yeah, I mean, Polyp Pools doesn't matter though. What card are you trying to mise? I don't think there's anything to mise. What?
The Angel and the Demon. The Yang and the Yang.
Oh yeah. Drew heraldry naturally, but didn't get Pithwelt. Got rift splicing, which I don't get. Do you want to blow up your own Mistress?
Well, no, you play Villainy and then you rift slicing the Ego and then point the Villainy at the Ego. It kills the Ego and you get Ego trigger.
That's true. And the opponent does have those lands, so that's brutal. It's really brutal for Epid.
Yeah. Herzi can even play out Heraldry too in the same turn, right? They have 7 mana here.
Heraldry, yep. They have the mana to do every... Huh? Hold on, no.
A Cursed Waste is a filter land.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm concerned for a second.
Epid also did not realize that it's Mountain for Wastes. What?
Cursed Waste.
Oh, that's a really weird way of wording that, but sure. You could just say that I filtered my mana instead of pointing your mountain at a Cursed Waste.
Nah, but humbug. Epid's smart. They understand.
What? Herzi maybe the land around like that?
I don't know. It's an intimidation tactic. I've seen things like this before.
And here's the rift splicing. And Herzi is not pointing the villainy at Ego. They're going to verbalize it in chat.
Yeah. Maybe they just want to avoid having too many arrows on screen.
Well, I like having a bunch of arrows on the screen. It feels way better than actually talking to other people in chat. I'd rather point at stuff than say stuff out loud. That's what communication is all about.
You're the kind of person who you just sit at the table for like F&M and instead of saying anything, you just go like, yeah. That's the sound I was trying to get across there. Yep.
Okay, now you sack your Idravir.
Yeah, I guess you have to. Lose your Soul Weaver? No, you're not. Yeah. So all Epid really needs to do is just draw a land and play the other Infectious Ego.
I don't think that does anything.
Well, yeah, this is not a good situation. We got the yin and the yang out here.
The angel and the devil, the villain and the hero, what else?
I mean, I already said the yin and the yang. That's about it.
Yeah, but we need to think of more stuff to say while we wait for Epid to slowly lose the game.
How about we talk about what's happening? Like Epid playing an Infectious Ego out here.
And
oh no, sacks it. They're sacking it. They're sacking it.
Come on. Come on.
Epid 3. That's a terrible idea.
But it's funny. It would be funny though.
But it's objectively a bad idea.
You have a board wipe. You would have wiped the board anyways. You could have given Epid some hope that that the same situation will play out again.
Yeah, this is gonna hard cast that.
And then turn the heraldry into a creature. Start whacking Epid.
Well, no, it's a cast trigger, so you don't want to do that.
Okay, I guess you just hardcast your other faces on to turn this thing into. Oh wait, never mind. Right.
The same thing's gonna happen, Ricky.
Okay, now you get to
Well,
play
I mean,
your
okay.
Soul Weaver plus Non-Forgotten, at least.
Yeah, I guess we get face the dawn again or something. I don't know, but
You get to start exiling cards from your opponent's yard, I guess, and drawing cards.
exciting.
It's almost like a Mistress, except it can't get killed by creature removal and doesn't poison you.
That's it. Yeah, perfect.
So which Auric Soul Weaver mode do you use here?
Hmm.
Do you draw cards here? Like, you're going down pretty low if you draw a card, right?
Here goes Drain. That's
I feel like
agreeable.
you kind of do need to start drawing cards with this thing, though.
You're already drawing cards.
Well, you need to draw more cards. Like, you need to beat your opponent who has what? Oh, okay, good. It's not a rules question. Good. It's not a judge
There's
call.
nothing scarier than just seeing the wait in chat. It's like,
oh no, judge call. How long will we have to wait?
Yeah.
As for how I do curses, I just leave it on my side of the field and verbalize, or not verbalize, but just like point an arrow at the opponent's face.
You're not allowed to verbalize. So
all right, let's see what Epid draws. Because like Long Forgotten is also really annoying to do on cockers because you have to. Why is Epid thinking? Just exile 2 cards. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they're not bringing.
I guess
there's nothing in Herzi's deck that brings non-creature or non-permanents back, right? So just start exiling lands.
Yeah. Exile 2 renewal grows.
Both provoke. Is there anything in Herzi's deck that brings cards back?
Well, let's check here. I don't think so off the top of my head. Yeah, no. Does not look like it.
Hey, Bloodjade off the top. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's card draw. Unique card draw.
Keeps Epid going. I don't know if it's enough to beat the Angel and the Devil, but
Herzi is kind of just sitting here right now, drawing a lot of lands, so you do have a little time.
Well, you're right. This is a lot of lands drawn in a row.
You're gonna face the dawn for Auric Soul Weaver, really.
It draws a card off villainy. It's like 5 mana, draw a card, kill a creature. I mean, that's basically on rate, right?
I mean,
limited removal. Actually, no, it's like way more than on rate for unlimited.
It is more than on rate, yeah, because 5 mana is just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, 5 mana draw is, I'd say like 6 mana is murder a creature, draw a card in limited.
Like,
yeah.
In recent limited,
wait, you gonna make it 7 mana?
I don't think you can even print that sort of thing at common.
Destroy target creature, draw a card?
Yeah, it gets a 2-for-1.
That
affects the board.
But the common people have 2-for-1s.
Yeah, but they don't affect the board, or at least they don't affect the board that much.
I'm not gonna look to see if there's any.
I mean, I remember there's like a 5 mana kill a creature surveil 2 or something.
Yeah, there isn't really commons that do it. You're right.
Okay, anyways, Bloodjade comes down. Epid's at 7 life, so let's see how much they're willing to pay.
I mean, there is like destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn, draw a card.
How much does that cost?
1.
Which set was it from?
Kamigawa, the new one.
What's the card called?
You Are Already Dead.
Oh.
It's that one, yeah. I mean, there's been like exile target non-creature and stuff that will let you draw.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't kill creatures. That's the main thing. Instead,
it looks like you're right, and then they don't let you kill something and then draw a card for it.
At common.
At common, no.
Anyways, Epid instead of thinking through what to take off Bloodjade Prophet because that's too much work, they're just gonna concede.
Yeah. I don't feel like thinking about this. I'm just gonna concede.
I feel like you should have at least YOLO'd a swing before doing that, like before conceding, just to really rub it or really show that you've like given up, you don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Those players are probably Epid's reboarding right now. I think like they've realized that the Soulbreakers are bad and they're boarding them out.
Maybe I would assume that. Yeah. It looks like you're allowed to give a creature -1/-1 at common and also draw.
Can you do 2 damage and draw?
Let me look.
Yeah, let's talk about Canon Magic limited design while we wait for these players to board.
I mean, I'm interested. I'm having a good.
Yeah, we're designers, right? Even though none of us have made a custom set yet, because we play other people's custom sets, not our own.
Yeah, I don't make custom sets.
Well, look at Epid's hand. It's only missing.
Exciting.
I think it's only missing the Mind Vultures.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly say, do you think you
wait, what? Herzi keeps this? Excuse me?
Herzi keeps this? Herzi keeps this? Ooh, That's a lot of renewal grows to be keeping. I guess you can afford that.
Has Herzi like given up at this point, or are they like going? Are they 9,000 IQ and seeing something that we're not? Like, is their plan against discard spells to just keep all lands so that Valdez does nothing?
Yes. I will simply.
Wait, now they're giving Epid treasure for no reason. Or I mean, I guess you need to pistol, but still,
What?
this is not great for Herzi.
This is brutal. Yeah, because now you get what Valdez and Mistress on turn 2.
I mean, Valdez isn't doing much, right? Unless Herzi.
I mean, Epid knows Herzi's hand now, so you can just get rid of whichever card you care about more.
Why is Herzi playing the Baron Desolation untapped?
Okay, well,
right, they're fetching
I
Cursed
don't know.
Waste because that thing comes into play tap. So yeah, they need to play untap so they can fetch it.
You have so much that you don't need Cursed Waste. I feel like. Anyways, here Valdez for low, so you can get out PM, get Pollet Pools, and just try and beat down. Yep. It looks like it looks like dealing damage and drawing cards, which is much more common.
Well, of course, because at least dealing damage means your opponent can play around it.
It's mostly limited damage. Like it's like there's a lot of 3 mana deal 1 damage draw a card, but there's like a little bit of actual damage, like Hypothesisal, which is draw 2, discard non-land card to deal 4 to target creature.
And wasn't that card like the top? Is it common in that format?
Probably, yeah. Because I mean, it's removal and it's a 2-for-1, yeah.
More pay-ups.
Pay up.
And Herzi is poisoned.
He's poisoned. Dieting. This is the start of something big here, folks. Pay up again, huh? I guess he might as well try and just name face. Herzi discards. Yeah, Herzi drawing really bad these games.
Maybe they should have kept 5 lands because you know, if you're keeping 5 land hands, I think you're just inviting more lands to come into your hand.
The ideology is I've already drawn 5 of my lands. It's less likely I draw more of them. It's a mistake I've made many times.
Well, technically, it's not actually the gambler's fallacy because you are like drawing less lands because there's less lands in your deck. But like, I don't think the chances actually changed enough for it to matter.
The changes don't change that much. Like the difference between Herzi has 5 lands in hand, so that's 20 lands in deck. There's between like 20 lands and 53 cards, I think, and like 22 lands and 53 cards is not that big. So
Rip splicing off the top.
I think it's just because you look at it in a different sort of like light. You're seeing the cards in your hand as in a pile of 7, whereas the cards in the library in a pile of 53 initially.
Yeah.
Or I got 73 if you're one of those Fireweaver players.
Or 140. Or not. 130.
No one's a Dream Sight player anymore, so we didn't have to worry about that.
Oh.
Oh boy. Come on, one more. Give me one more ego. Come on.
Well, no, the thing is, if Epid whacks Herzi down to less than 10 life and Herzi top second
Epid didn't draw for turn. Hold on.
Well, that's just a mistress trigger then, I guess.
No, they lost 2 life, gained 2 poison counters, drew 2 cards, and then went to first.
Do we have to do a judge call for them?
Do we? I don't think you're allowed to just not draw a card.
Okay, good. Okay, we don't have to call a judge.
You had me scared there, Epid. Jeez. I mean, do you just play ego here?
Does it matter what you play here? Look at your hand.
Look at your hand, yeah. There's another case of just Epid has a stacked hand and Herzi has board white, but not enough. The only downside here is these double mistresses, which is risky always, because that is a 5-turn clock.
Maybe Herzi can survive for 5 turns against these guys. I mean, they have lots of life gain somewhere in their deck.
Yeah. I mean, if you get out of Heraldry, you're pretty happy.
They're going to play Profane Emissary to fetch a land for next turn.
I'd say that's smart, because now if you do get board wiped, you still have so much gas in hand, dude. Yeah, Herzi's going to rift splicing something here, I think.
You're going to rift splicing the Profane Emissary.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting themselves down to 10 life for Face to Dawn.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one more than what you need, but sure.
Yeah.
Like you could have just play out Renewal Grove and then use your other lands to Face to Dawn and then like fetch with the Renewal Grove rift splicing.
And then fetch if you need a rift splicing, yeah. Well, that swamp is really nice because that means. I mean, do you play Soul?
Nope, you play Ego because your opponent has 4 lands.
Your opponent has 4 lands, yep.
Wait, this is why Herzi kept so many lands. It's because Now they can like just keep sacking lands to ego.
We'll keep collecting land so that I may feed them to the infectious ego.
Key block.
Key block.
It's gonna prevent the second ego, I guess.
That's true. Unless Epid gets a land here. And that is good. Preventing the second ego is very nice. Not playing the land. Yeah, we got the other land.
Actually, now cheap block no longer prevents the second ego.
That's brutal. Well, now I'm worried we're going to watch Epid not play the land, try and play out ego, and then get key blocked.
That's called, and then play the land afterwards? That's called the land drop of shame.
Play the land afterwards, like, oh, that'd be painful. I assume...
I mean, people do that all the time when they're playing against dazed decks in Legacy, right? The land drop of shame after you get dazed.
Yeah, probably. I don't watch Legacy.
Me neither. I just heard about it.
I assume that's something you do, though, is, get dazed, play the land drop, be sad.
If it's winning so much right now that they might not think about cheap block.
Okay, gonna attack.
They're playing around board wipe number 2.
That seems smart. That's smart.
I agree. You don't need to play out more guys. Make your opponent deal with your board first.
This is just good, clean, smart magic, and I love to see that.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's just Herzi getting screwed over by keeping a 5-lander.
Well, you kept a 5-lander, and then you're kind of... The thing is, you have to think, when you're keeping a 5-lander, you just have to assume you're going to draw like expected for the rest of the game.
So,
the thing is,
lots of lands.
Drawing expected is about 1/3 of the cards are going to be lands. And Herzi's deck isn't made up of a lot of card draw. Like, there's Villainy, Find Happiness are the big ones, and that's about it.
So the unfortunate thing here is, if Herzi top decked the Heraldry, I think they might have actually been able to get there, at least like stabilize somewhat. But unfortunately, Herzi did not top deck a Heraldry.
Yeah,
they top decked lands.
Well, that's GG. I look really bad for telling Epid that I thought Herzi was going to win the whole thing. Now I really thought the deck had a chance, but that's Epid making their way to the finals.
Well, Herzi did not draw very well. Herzi didn't draw their big enchantments early on curve during these games.
That's true. I don't think I've really seen Herzi draw those big enchantments on curve ever. It feels like it's just been mostly drawing the control cards and having to provoke to get anything.
I feel like they drew a bunch of those enchantments while I was playing them in League with my ramp deck.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, with that, Herzi knocked out, though, making it to the semifinals. Still a very good run for a deck that, if I'll be honest, doesn't look too impressive on a deck list page, but really performed well in the tournament. And congratulations to Epid for cracking the finals.
With mono black midrange. So that means there might be a chance we get a mono black midrange win.
So it is now Epid's job to make Styles and the mono black midrange community proud.
Did you also know that mono black midrange is a purple Murasaki deck? Just like basically half the decks in this format.
Yeah, I think every deck has purple's sort of meddling hand working on it somehow.
Except Herzi's decks.
Yeah.
It's like it's basically Herzi, you, and then who else also brews their own decks?
I don't know. I know. I was just about to say purple didn't make me mono blue flyers. I guess quote unquote mono blue flyers. Purple didn't make Just Nobody too. Nobody's a great brewer because that's the Just Alt combo deck, and then there's some other deck I know that they made. So
Skagra's also a combo brewer.
Skagra, yeah. Skagra's probably the top, like with purple, one of the top brewers. I think Skagra not playing in GPs for a long time kind of makes it seem less so, but there was a long time, a lot of great league runs, a lot of 5-0s, 4-1s, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that could just be Skagra playing a lot of league, and eventually you're going to get a 5-0, but very good.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people that brew their own decks. Anything if you just look through here, I mean, there's a lot of unique decks. I know there was, I'm not thinking of the deck now, but there was like a pretty much like creature only deck that ran the only qualifier I've come up with is a creature only deck. It was like a creature only deck that ran, I think the card was Lion's Vanguard was what the card was called, and it's I think that's a unique brew by whoever made that. I don't know why that deck sticks out in my mind.
Is that like a different Lion's Vanguard deck?
What'd you say?
Are you talking about the Living End deck with Lion's Vanguard, or are you talking about a different deck?
It's probably a Living End deck, but I'm gonna see. I don't know. I'm trying to find it right now.
Herzi just doesn't close the game. Herzi doesn't concede when they lose. They just leave the game, and then now we can't save replays of it. Herzi, come on.
Come on.
We want to say replays. Okay, fine.
Oh wow, that game was 9-4-4, 9-4, 9-4. That's interesting.
Anyways, I think we've been talking for long enough. So yeah, see you guys in
Yeah.
the other semifinals and then the finals.
Yeah. The other semifinals is Cajun and who? I guess we can just look. It's Cajun and Splash, right?
Is it?
No, it's Cajun and Zangy.
Oh, okay. It's that matchup.
Zangy is so it's red mid range versus Herald combo. Interesting. There's a very interesting pool. Very dominated by Mardu colors. I guess this whole GP really felt like it was a lot of Mardu colors going around. Mono black mid range, mono red mid range. Not much green, not much blue. I'm how's that?
Don't worry, the meta will always swing back next GP. Everyone will be on ramp, and then
yeah, I'm gonna be playing Jund. Probably not playing. I'm gonna be playing Flyers again.